Hello guys, here's my attempt at building a mini ITX X570 build. We'll see how it goes for now. We got a crappy Ryzen 3400G just to get us started. We got a crappy 120mm AIO. But we got some good RAM though, some T-Force 4500 megahertz, 1.45 volts. See how that works. Even though Ryzen can't really support much over 3800, or at least it can, but with the latency issue. We got our brand new power supply that I'll probably have to return or whatever because the 3000 series is coming out. Probably won't be adequate for the kind of power that they're saying that it's going to use. These fans probably won't fit, but they're 140.
Well, good thing we have air fans.
Yeah, so I don't even know if this is going to fit in this case. Look at that shit, bro. Look at that shit, bro. Alright guys, so I know jack shit about building computers, so we're going to figure this out. Guys, I knew this were small, but I never would have imagined this was that small. Wow, that's a tiny motherboard. Holy shit. Well, it looks like we got the board in somehow. I just kind of had to grab some random screws and just fit whatever worked. Our lovely CPU. And then I don't know how the fuck to put this in, but we're gonna figure it out, I guess. Alright, well, we kind of managed to fit it in. Don't know, again, I don't know what I'm doing, but it looks like I'm about to pop the CPU's cherry. Just kidding. Anyway, what? Boy.
You have to pull it back towards you a little bit, on this down, so you can pop it in underneath. What are we doing?
Yeah.
So we pull it down like this.
Mm-hmm.
We pop it underneath that.
Okay. So this doesn't slide forward now.
Yeah, it won't move anymore. It won't come out.
Oh, my fancy, lovely, lovely RAM. Unfortunately, it's not RGB, so sorry, guys. Man, space is everything. There's like zero space between these sticks of RAM. Oh, wow. Man, that is dark. I wish I could show you guys, but that's ridiculously dark. There we go. Well, looks like the manual said to put it, the I/O stuff for the case right there, so we'll figure it out if that works. Well, after a whole fucking ordeal later, I got the water cooler on, and holy crap, it was a nightmare. And I wish I could have shown it, but I need to buy a GoPro or something. Well, I got this freaking thing all assembled. Look at that horrific cable management. It's more like there's none at all. Just to make it fit. Yeah, mini ITX. There's even the fans aren't even bolted down or nothing. Well, on a whole ordeal later, we got our test bench running. And, let's see. It looks like a speaker, dude. It literally looks like a speaker. Like what? Alright, we got this 3400G inside my. What is that? I mean, you can't even call it a test bench because it's not a test bench, but whatever. Fuck it. Let's just get this shit started. So slow. My laptop is faster than that. Alright, guys, we got a lovely 1,894 points, which, I mean, for a cheap $150 CPU, I mean, it's what is to be expected. I mean, so let's tweak this mother. Alright, guys, so we're in the BIOS. And what's the best way to overclock? Or the worst way, more like? BCLK. Let's start fucking with it. Alright, let's jump right into this, see if it can do 103. Come on, baby. Come on, baby, you can do this. This is a very small amount, huh? No? Maybe? Maybe? Oh, wait. Would you look at that, boys? She posted at 103. Alright, let's fuck with it a little more. I don't recommend you guys overclock in such huge steps, but I'm just screw it right now. 106. See what happens. Wow, it posted at 106. Holy moly, that's amazing. Also, some weird readings right there on the frequency and the core voltage. Core voltage was 1.4 before, so I don't know what's up with that. Alright guys, so we downclocked the CPU just a little bit, just so that we can see if we can go a little higher before things start freaking out on the motherboard from base clock. We got the RAM running really low frequency. I just want to isolate those from the rest of the motherboard. Holy moly, this is the highest highest I've ever seen of a base clock. Wow. I mean, I've had boards that you can't even touch the base clock before they no post, but damn, 110? Holy shit. Well, I tried going for a 115 ratio, and it looks like it did not work. So time to rip out the BIOS battery or short the jumper. So it was either way. Our ghetto ass PC. I got the freaking fans and stuff just freaking zip tied on. Yeah, I mean, you can't really see it very good, but it's not pretty. Cable management is non-existent. Yeah, it's just, you know. Well, after a BIOS reset, let's see if we can take smaller increments this time. Let's try 111. Looks like we got 111 down. So let's try 112, which is absurd still to me, but I'm sure there's probably some ports on the board probably not working anymore. Maybe, I don't know. Well, it looks like we couldn't get 112 down, so another reset later. Well, as it turns out, at 110 BCLK, my M.2 drive stops working, so I had to bring it down just to get it into Windows, but I'll see if I can work my way back up again. Looks like 108 BCLK is the number we need to get it to actually recognize the M.2 slot as existing. So I don't know how stable the M.2 is at this point, but we'll see. If we destroy a Windows install, there's nothing wrong with that. Uh-oh, we got to crash-o. See, with BCLK overclocking, it's hard to determine what exactly caused the crash, especially if you're not underclocking your CPU and you're not underclocking your RAM when you do this. then it makes it very difficult to determine what's causing the problem. In this case, it was probably the CPU, just because the voltage seemed a little on the low side for the clock speed it was trying to run at the BCLK of 108. We'll see if it doesn't crash on Prime 95. I added a little more voltage to the CPU, pushed it up to 1.2. The RAM is basically a non-issue. That's rated for like 4,500 megahertz, and it's underclocked on top of that. And we got a crash again. So I wonder if it's either still the CPU or it might be the drive failing. Maybe BCLK might be too high. I guess it would be best to test it at this clock speed at 100 BCLK. Well, that might have probably been the cause of our crash then, at such a high BCLK. It's probably just the CPU being unstable. Or maybe a little more, since it hasn't crashed yet. But oh no, it did. Yep, there we go. So yeah, I just need to dial that in, and then, or just underclock it and then see if it works good at 108. That's what I probably should have done. This is a BLCK overclocking video, not a CPU overclocking video. Then again, I don't think it's a very good test to be testing the CPU on Prime 95 with a BLCK overclock. I should be testing my peripherals, making sure everything works right. This is a waste of time. Alright, to see if BCLK even makes a difference at all, on a Cinebench run anyway, I'm gonna have to set the clocks as close to I can as a 3.7 gigahertz. I was gonna compare it to stock, but then it's not really a fair comparison since stock can stagger the clocks a little bit and go up to 4.2 gigahertz. So I might have to uh, do a 37x ratio at 100 BCLK after this. And then the RAM, I'm running it at the closest I could to 2400 megahertz, which is 2300. So if anything, this is less than what it'll be when I test it at stock BCLK. So let's give this a run. All right, looks like we got a 1680 point score on R20 with a 108 BCLK. See if it even makes a difference to go back to stock with similar clocks. Let's find out. And now we're going to do a run at 37x ratio with a 100 BCLK. Well, 100.1 apparently. I set it to 100, but that's what I wanted to be, I guess. Anyway, let's give this a run, see what we get. RAM is set to 2400 megahertz. I couldn't quite get anywhere near 2300. So it's a little biased in this one's favor. Maybe a slight amount since the RAM is a little faster and the clock is a little higher. But we'll find out if BCLK makes a difference for Cinebench at least. 1682 points. Oh, I wish it would focus a little better. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so I guess that means it doesn't really make any difference at all, at least to Cinebench. Of course, Cinebench is probably a terrible benchmark for BCLK overclocking, but